Talk is sponsored by Opportunity at Work. Please, everyone, give them a round of applause. So Opportunity at Work is a Washington, D.C. nonprofit. Their goal is to increase career opportunities for adults who do not have four-year college degrees, but do have skills, training, and certifications. To learn more about how the online platform they are launching to match IT support professionals with training and certifications with D.C. employers, please talk to Delia. Delia, right there, please stand up. Everyone give her a round of applause for sponsoring tonight. They did a full event sponsorship, so they're helping us cover the cost for the space and the food and everything. We really appreciate that. Companies that help us sponsor these help us keep putting these things on for month after month. So we really do appreciate it. If anyone's new to Reston Tech Talk, you'll realize after the talks, give us a day or so, and we do put up all the talks now on our YouTube channel. So it's going to be at youtube.restontechtalks.com. We do ask everyone to do a survey just to let us know how everything is. We do take that feedback seriously. We do want to make the Reston Tech Talks better and better. We like to see larger and larger crowds. We're always fighting the weather, but it's something to do on a rainy day. That's going to be our motto from now on. And if you want to present, please do. Go to the website, go to speaker.restontechtalks.com and just fill out the form. And the next one, like I mentioned, is Wednesday, April 1st. And you can sign up, or you can just visit restontechtalks.com. And we're still looking for a few. I think we have a list of when we first started this thing, we'd lucky if we had one or two for the next talk. And we got about 12 talks, people wanting to talk. Just it's going to fit into their schedule, obviously. So we're doing really well, and we do thank everyone and the quality of talks and everything going forward. So once again, thank you, Opportunity at Work. You guys did a great job sponsoring this. We really do appreciate it. I want to thank everyone on the Constellix staff for setting up everything. I want to thank Diana from Spaces, sitting there in the back over there, for once again letting us host it here. And how the format works for anyone that's new is that we do quick introductions. I want to talk to you a little quickly. If you haven't been here before, where the facilities are, right? AKA the bathrooms. You're going to go to the Spaces sign right there, take your first right, and take your first right after that. And there's a hallway right behind us. And we ask everyone to go that way so you're not walking behind the presenters. Sometimes when someone's giving a talk and people are walking behind them, it gets them a little nervous. They feel like they're going to get jumped down or something like that. So what we ask you to do is walk back there is to stay out of the line of view. And then tonight we have 3 great talks, and if there's time, and I don't think it's not going to be necessary, but there's some people have asked me to do a talk on some things. So I put one in there, but only if there's time. So Matt is going to do one with cybersecurity for small businesses. Then we have Jay coming up about managing UI performance budgets with open source projects. And then Max is going to talk about the roadmap to monetizing cybersecurity. So we have some 3 great talks tonight. I'm really excited to get things going. And then after the talks, we do the lightning round. And that's when we give everyone the chance to do a quick 10 to 15 second elevator pitch about something they're looking to do. Hey, I'm looking to find a new job. Or you can say, hey, I'm looking to hire people. Or you can say, hey, this is what our company does, just to put you out there and give you a little time to present in front of everybody. So without further ado, please welcome to the stage. Matt's going to give our first talk tonight. Matt Lembright, please come on down.
Sorry about the format. I use Google Slides because I'm weird, so it didn't translate exactly well, but you get the idea. So, like you said, I'm Matt Lembright. Today we're going to use the game Doom, if you all remember that one from the 90s, to help explain how you are not actually doomed when it comes to cybersecurity. Fear, uncertainty, and doubt, FUD, is kind of what's been used in the cybersecurity industry to market cybersecurity for the longest time, and it's killed people. They just freak out and they don't know what to do. We're going to get rid of that today and talk about how you can actually move forward. So, quick genre shift. I got Alien up there when we get there in a second. The reason we're talking about this today is because I can't tell you how many folks I run into who just go, you know what, screw it. I'm going to get hacked anyways. If Target can get hacked, if Equifax this character on the top, she's one of the crew members. In the entire movie, she's freaking out. We're gonna die, or we're all screwed. There's no way we can get out of this thing. And she dies. In the moment of truth, all of the tools that are available to her, all of her options, she freezes and ends up getting killed by the alien. Spoiler. Then there's Ellen Ripley, who the entire time she's logically working through things. She doesn't emotionally flip out. She logically works through all of the options and tools that she has at her disposal. And when things don't work, she goes to the next option and keeps defending the crew and herself, and she leads them to victory. The idea here being the threats that you face are you can overcome. They're not insurmountable. They're based on really who you are. So kind of back to Doom really quick. So if you ever played the game before, when you start out, you face in the bottom left-hand corner, you face the easy guys, right? There's a lot of them, but they don't really do a whole lot of damage. And all you have is a pistol, and maybe every once in a while you get a little armor upgrade or some medical packs or whatever the case is. But it's enough. You beat those guys, and you move on to the tougher guys, and you start getting shotguns and machine guns and rocket launchers and all that stuff. The weapons you get match the adversaries that you face. And I thought, what better way to explain how cybersecurity works? Because, yes, everyone in this room faces a cybersecurity threat, but we don't all face the same ones. It really depends on who we are. And that's kind of what I have to tell myself. Who am I, or who are some of our clients that we work with? Where do they fall on kind of this skill level? And so I try to ask them questions like, who are their clients? What industries do they work in? What's their revenue model? And then they can start to figure out, well, okay, yeah, I might be, maybe I'm a large company, but my IT footprint isn't that big. So maybe I'm somewhere in the middle, or I'm a florist in the middle of Kansas. I'm too young to know. I don't need to face the big guys. They don't. But setting that stage and letting folks know who they are really helps them to start to understand what threats they face. Because the threats that they face, when they start looking at why the threats do what they do, they start to understand, okay, I have a large stream of revenue, but I don't really do any work with the federal government. So maybe nation states and then geopolitical goals don't really fit into who's coming after me. But cyber criminals who are after profit, absolutely. They know I've got big bank stuff, they know I've got a big revenue stream. On the other hand, a small government consultant that maybe doesn't have a lot of revenue, but they do work directly with the federal government, the Chinese People's Liberation Army might be interesting. So that kind of sets that stage, but it also helps us define what threat actors are capable of. It's all about really resources and intent. So when you talk about nation states, China, Iran, Russia, they have a lot of resources. But again, their motivation is different. So they're not going to go after the small forest of Kansas. Conversely, we've got cyber criminals, which has a range of resources. But at the end of the day, they're not going to spend too much resources to go after a small amount of profit. It has to be worth their time. So kind of having this, so I kind of equated that to the bad guys in Doom, right? The bad guys in Doom, you've got a lot of the guys that suck. They can shoot with a pistol, and that's pretty much the end of the story. There's not a lot of them. As time goes on, you face harder and harder bad guys, but there's not as many of them. So you have the tools to defeat them. So a quick jump to framework here real quick. A lot of folks go, okay, great, that's actually not really good. So I'm going to go this way. Okay, so we've defined who we are, we've matched the enemy with who we are, why they would care about us. And next it's time to go, okay, well, what tools do we have at our disposal? And again, what I wanted to kind of draw attention to here is the fact that there's a lot of tools in the cybersecurity industry that don't cost anything, they're easy to implement, they're just not as technical as folks want them to be, not as sexy as a lot of the very expensive ones, but they do the job, right? The
Anybody questions for Matt? All right. Banjo, I'm coming back.
So how do you go about educating what are the tools to use? Because there's such an arsenal of tools you can use. How do you detect which one is best suited for that situation?
Right, great question. It has to do with, again, knowing what assets someone has, and then that kind of helps determining where their threat profile is. So if they're 90% of the revenue comes through their website, that's a starting point. So now we know that that asset has to be protected. And then you start looking at what tools are relevant to that asset. Things like making sure they have a TLS certificate, making sure they do a code review on the website, making sure that website is backed up and done as possible, because it's all about centering yourself around that asset. It's all about, someone's going to talk about the dollar value of cybersecurity. It's figuring out what's most important to you, finding tools.
Any other questions? All right.
So how we can prevent these exploits, how we can realize when exploits come to our web page or something like that, how we can prevent the exploits?
Yes.
How we can prevent the exploits?
Okay, good question. That's a long answer and probably a whole other talk. But what I will, no, it's okay. So the methodology that I tell folks is, again, knowing who you are, right? Inventorying your assets and inventorying your processes to say, okay, well, again, we use the website example, right? That's my most important concept. The next step is to figure out what common vulnerabilities are associated with that, because at the end of the day, the exploit has to leverage the vulnerability in order to be effective. So, and plus vulnerability patching, vulnerability assessing is it's a common process. It's a relatively easy process. When you talk about next level exploits that get into AI and self-replicating and all that kind of stuff, you're going to be at a level where you're going to be able to leverage those types of technologies in the same fashion to combat those exploits. Because again, what most of us face a lot of it can be handled by just patching a lot of those vulnerabilities, because if they don't have a hole that they can use to worm their way into our system, that exploit won't work.
All right, excellent. Everyone, please give a round of applause to Matt. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You lost it, you bought it. That's the... Next on the agenda is actually we're going to do a raffle. Delia? Am I saying that right? Delia? Right? All right, so since she is our platinum sponsor at Opportunity at Work is going to pick the first raffle for the evening, so you can win the Founding Farmers gift card. And just so you know, what we usually do is after the lightning round, we still tend to have a few minutes to socialize here, then a bunch of us go down to Founding Farmers afterwards. Make sure you get your parking validated. They will validate it for up to 3 hours, so cha-cha. Don't stand in front of the mic.
Hanif.
Hanif, winner. All right. Everyone give a round of applause to Hanif. All right. So next up on the agenda is Jay. He's going to talk about managed UI performance budgets with our open source projects. And so let me bring up his presentation. Wait, hold on. That's the... Sorry, I got this, guys. 1 second.
evening. Good evening, everybody. I'm Jay Garcia, and today I want to talk to you about Gimbal. She's cueing something.
Can anyone? Can you turn that one up a little bit?
Yes, we need some more gain on the microphone, please. Can we do that?
Mine's loud. Here, take this one.
All right, I'll take this one. He's got a big boy one. He's got the big boy one.
It's just the voice.
It must be the nope. It's the gain. It's the gain.
Is that better?
Whoa.
All right.
Super powerful.
All right,
okay.
so everyone, once again, a round of applause for Jay for coming up to talk about UI.
So, once again, I'm Jay Garcia. This is my first Reston Tech Talk. I feel that you guys have an amazing community, and I'm honored to be a part of this. Learned 2 things today right off the bat. First, if I go over the 10-minute mark, this young lady is going to throw a potato at me. She confirmed, Steve, I think I heard you talk about that earlier. And Matt, dude, Doom, fantastic work. Okay. I'm going to talk to you about Gimbal. Gimbal is part of a passion project that we have at our company. I'm going to tell you a little bit about ourselves and the impact that Gimbal has had for us and our customers. So again, I am Jay. I'm a co-founder of a company called Modus Create. I am a U.S. Air Force veteran. If you ever catch me over some drinks, I'll tell you about the awesome stories I had fixing F-15 fighters. It's fantastic. I'm an open source contributor. I am a very passionate technologist to the point where I've taken on myself to write books, blogs, training videos, and so forth. And talking about what we do is a passion of mine. I'm very happy to be here today. So really quickly about my company. We're 9 years old as of March 1st. We have 200 people in 42 different countries. We're a consulting company focusing on helping companies face the digital challenges that they have. So one of the things I like to say is that disruption is at the back door for companies who don't understand how to deal with technology and the rapid changes. So we help with things like change management. We help with adoption of new technologies and methodologies and so forth. And as of today, I learned just before getting in the car, we made Inc. 5000 top 10 software, fastest growing companies for 2020. So pretty big deal for me today. Okay, so I want you guys to think about one word, impact, because everything you do should have impact. And for us, it's very important. Oh, wait, not that impact. Sorry. Wrong slide. No, seriously, performance impact, because today, when it comes to web technologies, everybody tends to throw everything at the web. For those of you who have dealt with web development, even a decade ago, when you start a web project, the footprint was small. Today, it's rather large, and that impact actually has a massive negative effect on your bottom line. Right? And this is something that a lot of folks don't think about. You just kind of throw something on the web and you expect it to perform, and chances are you might end up doing something like adding a new feature that will have a negative performance impact. So performance, when it comes to, let's say, loading times, can affect user experience. It can affect things like customer retention, signups, and so forth, which again has a downstream effect to your revenue and eventually hits your bottom line, which prevents you from investing back into your product. And ultimately, it boils down to the fact that there is a negative effect on people. User experience, performance is a people-centric thing. It's not necessarily just about features. Some statistics. BBC lost 10% of its customers for every 1 second of additional loading time. It's a known fact that's been published. DoubleClick had 53% abandonment when they had loading times above 3 seconds. And Pinterest had issues where their signups were decreasing. And so what they did was they increased their loading time, or decreased their loading time, by 40%. So, the real world impact for us was we had a project. Anyone know what that icon is in the upper left hand corner? That logo? Unicoro. Yes. So they asked us and they said, we have one major mission for you. We want you to help increase our user retention because our bottom line is being affected by poor performance. And they said, well, we don't want you to just focus on the experience. We actually want you to make sure that you can do so in a very constricted environment. Low-powered Android devices on 3G networks. Who here uses a low-power Android device with a 3G network today? Right. because we're used to modern technologies, but most of their customers in Asia don't have that luxury. So they said to us, how can you modernize our tech stack and affect our bottom line in a positive way? And we said, oh, geez, that's easy. We can figure that out. But the challenge we faced was how to measure this in a way that's scalable so that every time we introduced a feature or push code through the software development cycle, can we measure performance so that we don't go over budgets? We call them performance budgets. So this is where Gimbal came from. The question becomes, how do we do this in a way that allows us to have our engineers do this in a scalable way? So Gimbal's a tool, essentially, that allows you to focus on how you develop your software from the web. It'll look at your software, it'll look at your JavaScript, your CSS, and show you why things are underperforming. It's also going to make sure that if you introduce new features, that you don't exceed those budgets. So if you have a specific benchmark where you don't want page load times to go over a certain point, this tool is going to help make sure you don't exceed that. And lastly, for the up-and-coming generation of engineers and those who like to grab free libraries and kind of external things, it's going to teach them that performance matters. And there's a saying in the JavaScript lint world where they said like JS lint will hurt your feelings. And so we kind of adopted that and we say, yeah, Gimbal is going to hurt your feelings because you're going to want to throw everything at our tools. You're going to want to throw everything and then you're going to realize, oh, I may not have made the best choice. So, high level. Gimbal will make sure that all of your file directory sizes are actually at the levels that you want them to be. It's important because file sizes affect load times. Now, there's this concept, it's a really nerdy term, the heap. That's basically the amount of memory a browser has available. So if you have assets that are too large, you don't want that to be a problem. Also, it's going to use this tool called Google Lighthouse, which essentially, for the engineers in the house, is part of what powers the auditing tools within Google Chrome, the dev tools. It's going to run this in a headless way. So it's going to test for accessibility, SEO, PWA, so that's progressive web applications. That's ability to build web applications for those who are not knowledgeable about this, to build it in a scalable way where you can go from desktop down to phone, and it's going to test to make sure that you're using best practices overall. And one of the big things that it's a big issue for me is general JavaScript and CSS waste. So in other words, you might include a library and you want one function, one feature out of that library, but you've just injected a second of loading time, hurting performance and ultimately hurting bottom line. So this tool is going to help you figure that stuff out. So Gimbal will work on the command line. It's cross-platform. It runs with Node and Yarn, but also connects with your CI. So it allows you to inject this into your workflows so that as your developers publish their features before it actually makes it to production, before it even makes it to the PR, you can audit what they're doing to make sure that they're not breaking your software and they're not going to hurt your bottom line. So this is open source. We built this with the community in mind. It's extensible. It has a plugin architecture, and it has a few examples that you can use to connect with the various CI integration tools. So this is a very simple workflow. So that is, a developer is going to push a specific pull request, and Gimbal is going to run. This is within GitHub. No potatoes, please. Basically, based on how the rules you've set up within your CI, it can allow you to move forward into the acceptance procedure, or you can reject it. Ask changes. Hey, Miss Developer, let's not include Lodash because we want some array function. Let's just create the function. This is an example of the audit. This tool will also export not only within the markdown space, but if you want to export reports, there's a command line switch to do so as well. So this is a snapshot directly from one of our implementations within GitHub. And it's open source, so I invite everybody to take a look. And I'm officially done. Questions?
Any questions? Am I on? Any questions? Banjo again. Banjo's like he gets everything rolling. One sec.
If this is a question about how to defend against viruses, I can't help you.
Not viruses, but what about builders like Ionic or Vue or React that have a lot of bloat? How does Gimbal perform on those type of frameworks?
So we actually focused on Angular, which and we are partners with Ionic as well, and we have examples with React. So before I walked over here or drove over here, I was just making sure that this stuff actually works, because I personally didn't work on it, my team did, but ultimately yes. So I just did a simple create React app, and I did yarn install with Gimbal, and I did yarn run Gimbal audit, and it squirted out everything I need. And it works well. And what's cool about it is the fact that like you have this concept of tree shaking in chunks, and it will actually, you can set up rules to say, I would like this certain feature to have this specific budget within size and performance. And you can do that with the YAML configuration. God, I sound like I know what I'm talking about. This is crazy.
How long have you guys been working on this project?
This project was probably 2.5 months, and nights and weekends. And this is part of our investment in our own team. And I'm going to submit another talk about R&D as an investment in culture, if you guys would like so, because this is one of the things we've done as a passion project, and it impacted our customers in a very positive way.
Excellent. All right, everyone, give a big round of applause.
Thank you.
Thank you. Excellent. Thank you very much. All right, last talk of the evening before we get into, maybe we have time for the fourth one, who knows. Max is going to talk about the roadmap to monetizing cybersecurity. So Max, please make your way down, and I'm going to try to navigate the PowerPoint landscape. All right.
Perfect. All right, thanks. Well, I'll unbutton my jacket and get a little loose tonight. I don't want to appear too stiff in front of you all. Before I really get started, I want to say thanks to Matt and Jay for your service. I think our host tonight must have been watching the commercial whenever they were younger about the Army, Navy, Air Force. Well, Marines are here, so let's get it started and go the right way. We're going to talk about monetizing cybersecurity. This is an event that you're probably not going to hear much about, or this is a function of cybersecurity that you're probably not going to hear much about, because who really is talking about monetizing cybersecurity? They're talking about protecting their infrastructure, protecting their data, but they're not talking about making money with it. So tonight, I'm going to show you a roadmap on how I'm going to help you and your organization make money with cybersecurity. So, rule number 1, loss of cybersecurity equals loss of profits. It's that simple, folks. If your IT's not working, you're dead in the water. So make sure your cybersecurity is in place. And if you don't know, data is the new oil. Really, this is what is going to be driving how you're going to monetize your cybersecurity. You're going to need to look at your data, and there was an old way of doing mining, and that was going into the side of a mountain and extracting the information, or extracting what you want. Well, today we have bots. We have really robots that go out, get this information, they bring it to you. In fact, they even analyze the data for you. So you don't even have to analyze the data. You can let an artificial intelligence do it for you. So if we're going to look at monetizing cybersecurity, we really have to change the way we think about cybersecurity. We can't think about just dumping money into a cost zone all the time. If you're constantly throwing money into an IT call center and it's not generating you money, really, do you need that call center? I'm telling you, actually you don't, because you can go get artificial intelligence nowadays to be your call center. So there are a number of things that you can do with technology to really start building out your roadmap and how you're going to save money. And the reason why you're going to want to build out this roadmap to save you money is because it's going to not necessarily make you as the individual, but you as an organization as well. It's going to make you become more agile. It's going to make you become more intimate with your customer and more intimate about your competition. If you want to understand how to make more money, understand your competition, and then figure out where their soft spot is and attack it, just like any Marine or even an Army guy might. So it is also going to make you agile in the fact that you're going to be able to move very quickly. If you're stuck on the archaic ways of how to deal with data, you're going to get shot down by some Marine. I swear they're going to kill you. So you want to make sure that you have an agile organization. And because you're agile, you're very nimble, and you can move around. And you can put those snipers in the right spot to go ahead and make that kill, take out the competition, and now you've just gone into a new market. So some might say that's even a form of being proactive, going out and killing your competition. Well, that's just one way. There's many ways of being proactive. And there's several different aspects of how you're going to become more agile, more nimble, and more effective. But we're going to save that for another day because this is actually a 60-minute talk that I've got narrowed down into 10 minutes. So really, there are some things of cybersecurity that should never be monetized. And I want to make sure that everybody understands in this room, just because I'm talking about making money with your cybersecurity doesn't mean that the real intent of cybersecurity isn't still there. And so you want to make sure that you're actively dealing with threats. You're looking at whether it's hackers, and the latest forms of coming into your infrastructure. Another thing that you never want to monetize is anything dealing with safety and individual security. And I could go on, but again, we're down to 6 minutes, so I want to save some really good slides I have coming up for you. Again, other things you should monetize, education materials. We have universities, they can monetize that. Let's let that to them for a while. Security intelligence does not necessarily mean business intelligence. That's just part of it. Security intelligence is really that. It's going out and understanding, doing threat hunting. So there's multiple ways to think about how you can get intelligence into your organization. Business intelligence is just one. So really, this is the heart of why I'm here tonight. This is the roadmap on how we're going to make your organization or how we're going to help your organization define a new revenue stream. Most organizations today, you're going to see in there in the far left in the reactive mode. Until you get out of that reactive mode and become proactive and move on into preventative, you're never going to be able to generate revenue. The whole point is, if you're going to generate revenue with cybersecurity, you need to be able to see the future. Yes, I'm telling you I'm a fortune teller. The reason why I'm a fortune teller is because every single person in here is going to go into their LinkedIn profile tonight. They're going to look at Max Justice, and they're going to go to LinkedIn, and boom, there you are. Well, guess what? In about 2 hours from now, I'm going to go to LinkedIn, see who saw my LinkedIn profile page, and then I'm probably going to reach out to you. This is what I'm talking about. You have to foresee the future. I've already foreseen the future. I only have 5 minutes left, and I can tell you that everybody here, well, not everybody, but several of you people here are going to go to LinkedIn tonight to check out Max Justice's profile. Don't forget that Max Justice LinkedIn. So, once you're able to foresee the future, that's where the magic really happens. Now, there's a lot into foreseeing the future, and again, this is a 10-minute talk, and I can't talk about everything, how we get here, but there's a lot of artificial intelligence that's going to be based into being able to foresee the future. And we're not talking about something that's going to exist 2 years from now or even 30 days from now. This is here today. You can start monetizing your cybersecurity today. So for anybody out there that's a CISO and wants to monetize your cybersecurity effort, I'd love to talk to you afterwards. So, how do you do it? Well, you have 10 ways that, I'm going to give you 10 ways tonight on how to monetize your cybersecurity efforts. Now, if you notice, this is really not in any particular order. Why? Because you can do it any single way that you want to. Now, the first thing you need to remember, cybersecurity really is no joke. Even though I loosened up a little bit tonight and I unbuttoned my jacket, I'm still thinking about how I'm going to protect my infrastructure, how I'm going to protect the people here, how I'm going to protect even the whole nation, because really I work with a lot of government agencies. So Yes, it's a dead serious matter, okay? We're talking about protection of people, process, and technology. But all of those people, process, and technology need to work together in order to promote good, effective cyber hygiene. Now, we'll talk a little bit more about cyber hygiene in the future, but let's talk about continuity of operations. So basically, that means that if your CEO gets hit by a bus tomorrow, how does your company continue on? Now, that's just one example, by the way. But I hate to use the one where there's a dirty bomb in D.C., but you can all imagine that. This is why I live out in West Virginia. I'm ensuring continuity of operations. So you have to make sure that you have the right people, process, and technologies in place to make sure that your organization stays viable, because what do all companies do? They make money. Now, if you're in the federal government, you're not necessarily worried about monetizing your cybersecurity, but you are worried about understanding your data. Oh, I hit the wrong button there. Well, we got 2 minutes to go, so we really need to fly through these last couple of slides, but it won't take us too much longer. So, really understanding knowledge is power. You have to understand your data, and you have to get your data. Building high-performance teams. It's really all about people. If you don't understand people, there is no way you're going to be able to monetize your cybersecurity efforts. Why? Because people are the ones doing all the legwork. People are the ones that are going to share that information with you. And by the way, people are the ones that's going to provide you with that data. So it really is all about people. The cybersecurity team, that needs to be part of your executive leadership suite. They need to be at the board of directors level. If they're not, they're unable to effectively help steer and guide that organization, how they're going to generate revenue, in particular revenue cybersecurity. Not a single laugh. I thought this would at least get us a chuckle. You really have to bake in your cybersecurity. If you don't bake cybersecurity into your process, into your organization, to where people understand what cyber hygiene is, it's going to be very difficult for you to understand cybersecurity, let alone monetize cybersecurity. Cybersecurity is also about protecting the organization as a whole. We protect the systems, we protect the process, we protect the people. And you really have to understand what your data is telling you, whether it's dirty data, biased data, or that you have data that really has no bearing on what you're trying to achieve. You have to really understand your data. Also, you need a lot of executive oversight and structure onto cybersecurity. If you don't have executive leadership buy-in, this really isn't going to go anywhere. Mergers and acquisitions. If you want to understand how to buy or what you're buying, what you're getting, and so you're not buying a dud, you really need to understand your the people, process, and technology in the competition or in the organization that you're buying. And with the last one, own the breach. Really, your cybersecurity team, the cybersecurity leader, needs to understand that if the breach happens, it is that cybersecurity leader's fault. You can't be pushing it off. It's time that we as an organization or as individuals take ownership for what it is we're doing. So really, that's all the time I have. Thanks so much. I really appreciate everybody coming out here tonight, and I'd love to hear any questions you might have.
All right. Any questions? You're going to get a double applause because you get one now, then one after the questions. So
hey, nice.
Okay. Any questions?
Banjo's
up again. Really, everyone can ask questions. We're not going to bite. We're pretty friendly here.
So how do you envision AI playing a bigger role in cybersecurity as it becomes more advanced and advanced?
Yeah, I think AI is going to play a huge role. One, just because we're going to have bot versus bot or AI versus AI. Also, AI is going to, like most things, be very disruptive as far as personnel. We have so many people in cybersecurity that do not have the experience, the skill set, and know-how to actually implement a good cybersecurity program or promote cyber hygiene. And I think AI is going to be the key in making up for that skills gap.
Any other questions? All right. Please give a round of applause once again.
Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it.
Thank you. All right, so Delia, we're going to do another raffle with the for the Founding Farmers gift card. I caught you, didn't I? Once again, I want to give a bigger round of applause for Opportunity at Work for sponsoring tonight's event.
Catherine Deeming. Catherine Deeming.
All right, congratulations. All right. I've been asked a couple of times to do a quick. People kept saying, "Hey, Steve, what do you guys do?" And I keep explaining it, and they're like, "That doesn't make any sense." So, well, I'll save it. I don't know what that's even going to do at this point. So, what I decided to do, and I have always a bunch of presentations that possibly could do, and I figure, you know what? We knew we were going to be. Maybe we have a little time tonight, so I'm going to talk about something really, really sexy. Yeah, computers can be sexy. DNS, raise of hands. Who knows what DNS is? Ooh, that's good. That's good, but not everyone. Not everyone. So, what does DNS stand for? Domain Name Service. Good. All right, so let's all read about this. This RFC, I'm just joking. I wouldn't do that to you guys. That's what an RFC is. I wouldn't bore you with that. So, why do we need DNS? Oh, come on, people. We can go to websites. Okay, when we go to websites, what do we like to do? Browse, yeah, look at pictures and videos and stuff. But when we go to a website, what do we type in? Names. We love names. We don't like numbers, right? If I was to call out, I was going to say, hey, you. You're going to be like, who, me? Me, right? We don't go by numbers, right? We're not like Jean Valjean from Les Miserables. We're 2 for 601, right? So we like to have names. I always have names. Now, if you're old like me, you still probably remember your grandmother's telephone number, right? You still remember, I know 3 numbers. I know my home number when I was a kid, my grandmother's number, and my first girlfriend's number. Nowadays, I don't even know my number in my home, right? Because I just push that little icon on my phone and it dials it, right? So what we did before, the godfathers of the internet, right, is they realized that people like to do names to these computers. And what do computers usually have? How do we identify, how do we get to a computer? Does anyone know what that's called? An IP address, right? Internet protocol, right? So we're up to IPv6, not really widely used in the United States yet. It's going to get there by the time I'm 150. But IPv4, you guys all heard of that before. It's like those 4 little octets of numbers, a 32-bit number, right? And that's how computers talk to each other. But we need to have some sort of translation from name to IP, right? So the godfathers of the internet, and my pointer's not working, but the godfathers of the internet decided that we're going to need to do this. And what they did originally is have something called a hosts file. And I kid you not. This was a file that someone manually updated every single night, and they shared this from university to university to company, and that's how they got to each other's websites. Right? People would modify it, and they'd share it over their bulletin board systems. They dial up once a night and download it. Yeah, there was dial-up back then. Who doesn't even know? But too many people don't know what that is. But I remember I was dialing in with my Trumpet Windsock client, and I would actually download this little file. But anyway, at a certain point, we realized that there's a lot of computers that are going to connect to this crazy thing called the internet. And sharing a file was not going to work out right. So what we decided to do is come up with something called DNS. So let's visit 2 different companies. Opportunity at Work, once again, our sponsor for this event. Thank you very much. And also opaque.com also have done many things with us before. And Alex right there from Opaque, so I will push them. And so let's say we had a computer and we wanted to go to opaque.com or opportunityatwork.com. Right? And we make this request in what? What sort of thing do we usually make this request in? A web browser. This is a fully interactive demo. So feel free to jump out and say, if you're wrong, I will not laugh at you. At least not now. I will later. No. So what we're going to do is we make it in a web browser, right? And this web browser has to make a request to what? What does the web browser run within? It runs within an OS. Oh, this is good. See, this guy's brownie points. All right, and then what does the OS do? Any idea? Well, we're going to talk about that, and this is where the DNS comes in. So what we decided to do when they said we can't keep sharing this host file, we're not going to have everyone download this file. It's probably going to be, people started putting the wrong IPs, people started changing it, people started making mistakes. We're going to make some sort of distributed system that's going to take care of all this. So what every operating system has, Mac OS, Android, Windows, Linux, you name it, it has in your configuration what's called a resolving name server, or you can call it a recursive name server, right? And so all this system's responsibility for is to give you answers, give you names to IP, name to IP, name to IP, right? So let's just talk about this. So the query goes from your browser to your operating system to the recursive name server, and the recursive name server then has to figure out where to go. Now, the only thing the recursive name server knows is what? My whole entire staff should know this, but it only knows what? Anybody? I put it on the screen. You can just read it. No, it knows the root name server, right? So when you actually go to opaque.com or you go to google.com, you're actually going to opaque.com dot, right? You're actually going to google.com dot, right? And you can say it like that and it means a lot more. So when you go to and that's actually the dot. And most people, you guys ever try it? No, do it tonight. It's really fun. You get to the exact same website. But what that means is you're actually going to the root of the internet, right? And so your browser automatically adds that to it, sends it to the recursive name server, and the recursive name server, the only thing that knows is where the root name servers are. Now, there's 13 root name servers. Why is there 13? Pop quiz. Come on. Yeah, you're getting the reason why it's all that fits in what's called a UDP packet, right? So we're all bound by limitations on how the internet goes. So there's 13 root name servers. They all used to be run by the United States, but now they're kind of distributed all over the world. They're done on what's called IP Anycast and everything like that, and as different organizations run different ones. Predominantly, at one point, 9 of them were within the Washington, D.C. area here. Yeah, we started the internet. Okay, so what happens, this recursive name server actually goes to this root name server and says, hey, I'm looking for www.opaque.com or opportunity.work.com. What do you think this guy says? Oh, come on. Okay, it's going to say, I don't know, I have any idea, but I know where com is and I know where org is, right? And that's all it's going to do. It's going to say, hey, I don't know, but I know where to find, I know something, right? And that's what the root name servers are responsible for. They're responsible for just responding who's in charge of the top level domains from there on, right? And so then this recursive name server gets that information and says, okay, where's www.opportunity@work.com or where's www.opaque.com, right? And what do you think this says? It says, I don't know an idea, but I know where to find the next step. And it goes through this next step, right? And then you go to, and then it hits what's called the authoritative name server, right? And this recursive name server says, okay, where's www.opportunity@work.com or www.opaque.com? It comes back and it says, here's the IP address. Bingo, I finally found this damn thing, right? I had to do 1, 2, 3, 4 lookups just to get this IP address. And that's done in less than the blink of an eye. We talked about internet performance, right? Our previous presenters today talked about page load speed times, everything like that. It's actually proven. Your DNS lookup time is over 200-300 milliseconds. Your whole page just starts slowing down. So what happens then? It comes through all these different lookups. It goes to the recursive name server. The recursive name server then gives it back to your operating system. Your operating system then gives it to your web browser, and then your web browser makes a direct connection to that IP address and says, hey, I'm looking for this website at this name. Show me something. And then it makes a TCP IP connection over user HTTPS, gives all that data and brings it back. So that is, in less than 10 minutes, Neef, how DNS works. And I'm finished. That's it. So, on that note, any questions? There really can't be. No questions? All right. So what we want to do, you have a question? Why is .com raised? Ooh, anyone from VeriSign here? I don't want to say anything. Okay, so VeriSign. So how the internet was founded is that certain organizations had the ability to take control over certain namespaces. VeriSign is actually runs .com and .net. They're based right here in Reston. .org was run by Public Information Registry, PIR, which is like 2 blocks from here. They just sold recently, so their pricing's going up as well. And so what the thought is with the .com is that they're believing that the costs to serve that namespace is going up, so they're increasing the .com pricing, and I think it's going to be pretty drastic, right? I mean, at one point, .com registry pricing was down to about $4 or $5. Now it's around $8, and they're expecting it to go up to about $11. That's the registry price. So then the registry buys it. Like you buy from GoDaddy, they're the registrar, right? So you buy it from a registrar. That's who we buy domain names from, and they buy it from the registry, and they run these .com name servers all over the world. So they believe that the cost of the infrastructure and the cost to offer that service is going up. And so that's that. So I have friends at VeriSign, so I'm not going to say anything negative about that. But anyway, any other questions regarding DNS and how the whole lookup process works? No? You do? How do you... So how do you get fast DNS? Well, you choose a provider that starts with the letter C, ends with the letter X, and they will actually provide you IP Anycast DNS. That's actually what our company mainly does. We provide IP Anycast DNS services over 1 million domain names. We do really cool stuff with routing. We'll make decisions based upon clouds and move stuff based on... It could be down to your cell phone, right? We'll track people to Amazon here, Microsoft here, second by second, and move it wherever's faster for you. Any other questions? Cool. All right, so we're going to start what's called the lightning round. One more question?
At the beginning, you mentioned that this is the process that you ignore.
Oh, yeah. You see that? Okay. So there's been a couple things out lately. Let me see that. Sarah's got the good eye. There's Jean Valjean. No, bring me prisoner for 601. Okay. Forget DOH. DOH is DNS over HTTPS. The cool kids call it DO. And there's also DNS over TLS, which is called DOT. So DO and DOT. And we're kind of like DO, a dear. We actually, there's DNS meetings. We actually sit around and sing those songs. But what DO is actually DNS over HTTPS. And so that's just been pushed out recently. If you have a Firefox browser, it's now making a direct connection to a Cloudflare resolver because the world believes that if you don't give the DNS lookup to your ISP and they can't see it, it's safer to go to Cloudflare. I don't get it. But some people believe if you give your organization, you give your data to some organizations, they're going to be safer with it than if you give it to the people you've been giving it to your whole entire life. And so I don't get it. We can get into that conversation all day long. But that's what DNS over HTTPS. So what this process does now is if you have Firefox, you weren't even given the right to change that. You actually have to change your browser now. All your lookups are going to one organization where they're now taking it and selling it and marketing it for you. So that's what Cloudflare does. So, and you agree with me? Yeah, all right. So any other questions? All right, cool. All right, so lightning round. If you have anything you want to talk about for 10 or 15 seconds, feel free to line up behind me right now, and we're going to do a big round of applause at the end, and we still got a lot of time, so we have a lot of time for a half hour of networking and all that other stuff. We have a lot of food, so if you have any extra sandwiches, please take some, put it in your pockets on your way out. They taste better in the morning. They really do. So feel free. We'll start right back here.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Tim Otto. I'm actually a sales rep for Cogent Communications. And because it's the end of the month, I have to pitch you on fiber connectivity. We are a global internet service provider. I work out of their Herndon office, 8229 Boone Boulevard, Tysons. And 17100 Plaza America Drive. We actually are wired into those buildings with fiber optic internet. If you are a small company, mid-sized, large company that needs fast internet co-location space, I have cards. Look me up on LinkedIn. We are going to be able to supply very fast fiber at very reasonable pricing. Thank you very much.
Hi, my name is Andrew Kim. I'm a developer, and I'm working on a side project called Poster Day, and it's basically a place where you can upload and view academic posters from around the world. So if anyone is interested in helping me validate or just interview about the idea, I would love to just talk about startups and making something on the internet.
Hi, my name is Dimitrina Ducheva. I'm project manager and Reston community leader with the Project Management Institute for 2020. We organized a variety of events for project managers. Our next event is on March 13th. So if you're interested either to participate or to speak, please see me later. Thanks.
Hi, my name's Robert Mecklin. I own a company. It's webdesigns.net. That's what we do. We also do marketing and strategy. I'm looking for marketing freelancers. So if anybody in here does that, fantastic. Come see me.
Hi, everyone. My name is Christina Nian from Ridlink Technologies. We are a cloud optimizing firm helping back-end developers navigate the cloud and conquer it. So if you have any questions in AWS or Azure, I would love to speak with you. Otherwise, I hope to see any of you out March 25th out in Loudoun County at City Tap. It is our Wine Wednesday Tech Networking event. So it should be a good time.
I'll definitely go. Hi, everyone. My name is Sarah Morales. I currently run the AWS Cloud Security Meetup Group. We're usually based out of Arlington, but our next event is in Herndon. It's really just a place for IT professionals who are interested in not just AWS, but just cloud security as well, to get together, learn from each other, and also talk tech, but from a security perspective. As I mentioned, our next talk is March 11th. We usually meet the second Wednesday of every month. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Alex McMillan, and I'm with a company called Opaque. Thank you very much for all the shout outs, Steve. Awesome DNS service at Constellix. What I wanted to say, just to reiterate Christina's comment, so Wine Wednesday is March 25th. We have upwards of 200 people registered, and we'll be at City Tap next month. Hope to see you there.
Evening, everyone. My name is Ken Waldmiller. Up until last spring, I was the Director of Information Systems for a small nonprofit. So I'm looking for a new opportunity in doing help desk support or managing an IT department. And I'm going to give a shout out to Tim because we waited out Cogent at a building we were in. They gave us fiber into our LAN room, and I got it for half price. And I never had a problem with it at all.
Good evening, everyone. My name's Mike Loy. I'm also in transition, looking for a new opportunity. I'm a business executive with experience in sales and marketing, human resources, operations. And for the first half of my career, I was an attorney up in New York and here in D.C. For the last 12 years, I've been working with Intermarkets, a digital advertising technology firm here in Reston. During my time there, we were an Inc. 5000 company 8 times. And we were also named as a best workplace by Washingtonian Magazine, Ad Age, and Inc. Magazine. Looking forward to new opportunities, and I hope I can speak with you afterwards.
Hi, I'm one of the overdressed guys. This is my first one. I'm also a sales professional. I have my own name tag. All right. So I'm here to socialize a business idea. I've been in sales, technology sales, for over 25 years. And good things end if you don't make it grow. And my idea is that there's something might be a fractional sales consultant that would come into small and growing firms, help them build a repeatable process. Most of the sales is done by the guy or the gal who has the passion, and you got to make it repeatable and you got to make it happen. And I'd like to have a conversation with anyone if they're interested in that or knows anybody who could use a guy like me. Thanks.
And I'm Matt Lembright, and I'm a doofus because I forgot my note cards up here, and I forgot to tell you what my company does. So just real quick, cybermarketdc.com is like an Angie's List of cybersecurity providers. We basically find people that need help and direct them to the help that they need. So if you need help, let me know. Thanks.
Perfect. Everyone get a round of applause, everyone at Lightning Talks. Once again, I want to give a big special thanks for Opportunity at Work for sponsoring the event tonight. Everyone, please enjoy. Please mingle, have fun. After, usually we leave here, some of us go to Founding Farmers. Have a great night, everybody. Thank you. See you April 1st. All right, bye-bye.